Yo, what's up guys, I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another zombies video on the channel, where today we are going to be talking about the ADFGX Cipher in Mob of the Dead, the one that has been unsolved for over 5 years now since this map released. Well, just recently, I never thought this day would come, but the Cipher has been solved. This was said to be one of, if not the hardest Cipher we ever had in zombies, and 5 years later, it has finally been solved. As you guys know, I have been away on holiday recently, so there are a couple of things I need to catch up on. I do know this was solved yesterday, but as always, if you enjoyed the video today, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already to stay up to date with the latest content, but let's get into it. Here we go. So the ADFGX Cipher is without a doubt the hardest one we have ever had in zombies. If you have forgotten what it is since it's been such a long time, it was the Cipher on the Mob of the Dead loading screen here on the right, where there are just letters going down vertically. You can see it starts off with FFGXGD, then the next line is GFFAGF, the next line is GGDDGF, and so on. And this is the Cipher that many people have tried, a few people have come close, but no one has fully solved until now. And when solved and translated, are you ready? The Cipher says, "Urgent, the giant is in France." That's right, over 5 years have passed since Mob of the Dead has released. The Cipher has been bugging us for all those years, and now we finally find out that once translated, it says, "Urgent, the giant is in France." Now, I'm not brilliant on ciphers and how to solve them, but I will tell you in just a second. However, I know what some of you guys may be thinking. We've waited so long for this cipher, there's been so much anticipation behind it. We've been wondering, what could this cipher be telling us? What important part of our zombie storyline could we be missing because we don't know what this cipher says? There are still so many ciphers that are unsolved in zombies. However, this one was thought to be the main one. Since it was the hardest, we thought there must be an important message behind here that we need to find out. And I'm guessing now that we've discovered this, some of you may be disappointed, but actually take your mind back to Mob of the Dead. Imagine if we discovered this during Mob. Origins wasn't released, it was just Mob of the Dead at this time. Imagine us discovering this cipher and reading this message: "Urgent, the giant is in France." Of course, now we all know what this means. This cipher was telling us that our next map is going to be Origins and there are giants in it. Giant robots are in France. But imagine if we discovered and solved this during the time that Mob was out. Our minds would be going crazy. What the hell would the giant is in France mean? What does that mean? Obviously, we knew that Der Riese was German for the giant, but that's in Nazi Germany. So I know right now it might seem a little disappointing, but if you can imagine us solving this during the time that Mob was out, Origins hadn't released yet, this would send a ton of people crazy. But yes, basically the cipher, "Urgent, the giant is in France," is obviously a reference to Origins. The giants are in France. Origins is in France. So okay, 5 years have passed. I'm not going to say it's disappointing, but it's not important to us. We already know this. This cipher doesn't tell us anything that we don't know now, whereas if it was solved 5 years ago, it'd be totally different. And there are also so many other ciphers in zombies that haven't been solved yet. There are loads in the giant. I believe there are a few in Zetsubo no Shima and Der Eisen Drache, and then also loads in Revelations as well. I have a feeling that all of those ciphers in Revelations are going to be extremely important. If any of them are ever solved, I think those could give us new information on our storyline, because if you take your mind back to really one of the only ciphers we ever solved in Revelations, that is the last map that we got for zombies, and we have only solved 3 ciphers out of the, I think there are about 12 more ciphers that are unsolved in that map, and the 3 that we did solve are extremely important. They include information that aren't in the Chronorium. One of them seems to hint at a alternate ending to Revelations, where Dempsey sounds like he's trying to hide from Dr. Monty, and if he ever finds him, he's gonna kill him. One of the other ciphers is a message from Maxis, just telling us about how they sacrificed themselves to save Monty's perfect universe, and the other cipher that we solved in Rev is just a message from Treyarch telling us or thanking us for playing their game. So you can see all three of those ciphers in Revelations are not in the Canorium. They are information we would never know, well except from the Maxis one, if we didn't solve them. So I'm thinking there are still 12 other ciphers in Rev, and a bunch of them at least I feel are including important info, storyline information, maybe other alternate endings to Revelations that we don't know of. So if any of them could ever be solved, I think that'd be great. Like I said, there are also other ones in the Giant and a few other maps as well. But finally, the ADFGX cipher has been solved, and yes, it's not really important to us now, but if you can imagine us solving it during mob, this would be very exciting. If you are interested as to how it was solved, I will link that page down in the description. But basically, we have the cipher here on the right, and then to solve this, you need a transposition key, and the key to solving this is the word zombie. Like I said, I'll link it all down in the description, the page to how it was solved, and I think the credit for this goes to Rich Killer. However, there was a lot of people who put work behind this, but the transposition key is zombie. You use that to solve this cipher. It actually translates to German, and then you have to translate it from German to English, in which it says urgent, the giant is in France. So there we go, 5 years later this cipher has finally been solved, said to be the hardest one in zombies. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies videos on the channel. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course we'll see you all in the next video. Until then, goodbye.